Hi, I'm Tami from Acclaimed Heating, Cooling and Furnace Cleaning, and this is my lovely husband.
I'm Keven from Acclaimed Heating, Cooling and Furnace Cleaning.
And we are here for your weekly Facebook Live, and we are so excited to be here from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and it is chilly here today.
It is chilly here today. It is chilly, and we're going to address somebody's question and concern here today.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But before we head to the Facebook, the question for the Dear Keven letter, I want to thank Shelley Barless from the Duct Company, and we had a great time with them last week. We, as in myself, and Shelley hung out together, and we did some questions and answers that we are playing over the next month, and it was really great to get to know Shelley better and see all the different aspects of the positions and services that she provides. It's amazing, really.
Yeah, she's got a really amazing operation and an amazing team there to do what they do so well.
Yep.
Taking care of people's business, cleaning people's houses, and taking the number one thing people don't like to do off their plates.
Yeah, it was neat to hear the asking her the question about human error and how she addresses that, and how she mentioned I as a company expect perfection, but which is really great when you're hiring a company, and understanding how really cool it is that she had such a high employee retention rate also with those expectations, which was awesome to see that, and it was nice to see it. And she's also, the team over there is providing the gift certificate for the $100 to the keg, and to get in that draw you get to like our Facebook page, like their Facebook page, and then you get put in the draw, and we'll draw it at the end of November.
Yeah, fantastic. Great.
Yes. All right. So the Facebook Live that we have, or the Dear Keven letter, is about duct cleaning.
Duct cleaning, getting all your ducks in a row.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
So here's the question. Ready?
Ready.
All right. Dear Keven, I recently moved from Calgary to Edmonton. Welcome. I had a duct cleaning done many years ago by a company that I don't want to mention the name of. I had a 2,000 square foot home, and they were in and out in 30 minutes. I felt the whole thing was a scam and never wanted to get done again. However, I recently did a major renovation in my new home in Edmonton, and drywall dust is everywhere, so I need to explore this again. I also own my other home in Calgary and need to get duct cleaning there. What types of things should I ask when booking my Calgary home, and what should I watch for when they show up? Thanks for the information. Signed, is this all just a scam?
Is this all just a scam? Well, it's a really, really good question. And there are definitely things to look for that are really easy to look for. And I think firstly we would start with the same thing that you would look for in any other service-oriented company, right? So reputation, how long they've been around. These days it's really easy to go on to the internet, go online and take a look at real reviews across different platforms.
Yep.
We know ourselves that there are so many platforms, none of which have anything to do with the company's input. They really are real reviews from real people, and that would be first and foremost. Recommendations from friends and neighbors of companies that they have dealt with in the past and have had very good experiences with is another one.
Okay.
And making sure there's a few telltale signs. So one of those things is when they're doing a duct cleaning in the home, there's lots of 1-inch access holes that should be in many places of the duct system. And there also should be a hole cut about 8 inches wide, which sounds horrifying, but an 8-inch hole should be cut above the furnace, and also there should be an 8-inch hole in the ductwork beside the furnace. And if those aren't there, it means the quality of the duct cleaning is being sacrificed drastically. So you need good equipment, and the equipment has to be able to do its job really well, but what makes a good duct cleaning from another is the time it's taken and the technique used to get those ducts clean.
Okay.
Right.
So before they book a company, they can call by looking at reviews and talk to their friends, and that's a good way to source it out. In Calgary, they can do the same thing.
Right.
Better Business Bureau used to be the only kind of watchdog that we had as a consumer, in terms of if there was somebody that was terrible, then you can go tell the Better Business Bureau and tattle on this company, and they can help you get some resolution. But now, with all the positive review sites and negative review sites, you get a good sense of what the company's about for sure before you bring them in.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think the thing to know is that we know firsthand that these platforms, they don't have comments there because companies write them, unless they've only got a few or they're only on one platform. So you do have to use some sense there.
Yep.
But when you go online and look at companies, you will find a big difference between those. And to me, it's just as good as getting a referral from a neighbor.
Yeah.
But that's the place to start. But then to make sure that when they are in your house, that they're doing those two things. Those two things are what separates what would constitute a good quality professional cleaning from those that perhaps are scamming and not doing what they should be doing.
Yeah, a few years ago there was an expose that W5 did. I think it was probably about 4 or 5 years ago in the fall. And we were at the trade shows and someone came up to us and said, you must just hate those exposés. They talk about duct cleaners being so scammy. And I said, love it. Love that they go behind the scenes. Customer awareness makes it so much easier for being able to flush out the reputable companies by the fly-by-nighters. There was a lot of kind of companies that were going around many years ago. They would kind of come into a small town and blitz it, and you would hear that they would do 10 to 15 houses in a day, which would be very difficult to do with any kind of quality. And sealing the air ducts, that was another thing that you had mentioned, that the holes, the access holes, the plenum, huge plenum hole that they'll seal up nicely after. Another way that customers can, if they're not sure, like this gentleman that said they came in and out in half an hour, some places where a customer can look after you're gone would be where?
Well, opening up your cold air returns and looking inside of there would be great. Opening up your registers. Using your phone now is a really good way. I encourage our guys to always take their phone and look at things. And the other thing, too, is that, if you do find something, call that company back. Any reputable company that had something that was missed by accident or something like that, they're going to take care of that right away, and they'll treat it really seriously. We're a company that makes mistakes, and our people make mistakes, and I always say it's how those mistakes are handled and how things are followed up with the customer that really separates good service from bad service.
Absolutely.
And that's something, unfortunately, you have to deal with after you've chosen the company. But hopefully by reading those reviews, that way you will be ensured that you're dealing with a company where if something is not done the way you'd hoped, that they will take care of you, and that's very important. That's what you get from reviews, is you get reviews that say, if anything happens here that you're not happy with as a client, this company will take care of you, and you'll be happy with any kind of resolution and service that you get from that company.
Great. So that's good information for, is it all just a scam? And some customers in past years will call us and say that their spouse puts the vacuum hose down, and so they don't need duct cleaning done. But if a vacuum hose is really not that long, and so we will sometimes get called in because the handle of that has broken off and down the air vent, and we'll take care of that too. But that's okay.
Well, the biggest non-believer in duct cleaning was me. Right? Like with our first house, the biggest non-believer in duct cleaning was me, because your parents had gotten it done frequently. Because they were responsible homeowners. And I said, we are not spending that kind of money on that, because when we're first starting out, you have, every nickel counts. And I don't think we ever did our house until I got into the industry. And then when I got into the industry, I was like, wow, I cannot believe how much stuff is in there. I can't believe how unnecessary it is to do it. So, I used to be a non-believer, but I've seen what I've seen over 25 years, and definitely it's something that everybody should be getting done. Yeah,
you absolutely were. That was not a mountain I was going to die on, to try to convince you that it needed to be done, but yes, absolutely. You were going to also take the shop vac down there and clean it out.
Oh, I don't know if I was that ambitious.
No, you were going to, but I think that. Okay, all right. So the other thing we're going to talk about before we let you folks go is that Keven and I had the privilege and the honor to go to the opening night of Hadestown at the Citadel. And as you can see that, it's in reverse, but it actually is that. And it was a brother-in-law's brother that is one of the producers. So we got to go and go behind the scenes and see this great show. It was
really good. It's like a musical, but not like a traditional musical.
Yeah, it's a pre-Broadway show. So they're playing here now till December the 3rd, and then they're going to take a break, and then it will end up being, they would not disclose where it's going to show up, but they said it's somewhere big. And it will be, but it was a powerful musical, upbeat, good for, I don't know what age would you say?
I'd say teenagers not. There were actually a lot of teenagers there last night.
Yeah, there absolutely was. So it was a very, very cool thing to see that whole thing unfold and be able to go behind the scenes. And we got to go to the after party, which was very special for us because, that's like a field trip and a half.
It's really neat. All the band was there. There's a huge band playing there. So a lot of it's a big live band. A lot of singing, a lot of acting, and all that kind of stuff. It was really, really good. But what was neat to me is that this really is like the first night that this entire musical has shown anywhere. And it's been a 3-4 month thing just with the rehearsing, probably 3 or 4 year project coming to fruition. And I was like, really, Edmonton? And the reason that they said that was because we know that Edmonton's a theater town, and it's a long ways away from New York. So the people that are in this, these are big deal, big name Broadway stars. This is not just something that is, I wonder if it's going to go to Broadway. This is going to be a huge show on Broadway in New York with big stars that are at the Citadel, but they're using this to get all their kinks out. I didn't see any kinks they need to get out, but I know from talking to some people yesterday, they were like, oh, we got to fix this and fix that.
But it was about opening night. You expect that, but for us, it was top rate. I mean, the production was amazing.
Fantastic. It was amazing.
There was a gentleman that was one of the main characters, which was Hades, and it was Patrick Page, and it was kind of like Leonard Cohen meets Grizzly Bear in the best of ways. This man has this voice, and you think you close your eyes, and you're really thinking that's the voice of a grizzly bear, and it's so you think he's got some kind of mic attachment. That's his voice, and it's powerful and great. It was an amazing production, and I think that if anybody has the opportunity to check it out, you will not be disappointed. The time flew by very quickly, and pretty awesome. Edmonton's really great to get behind any of these theater events, any arts. Lovely. The only other thing we're going to touch on before we let you go is to talk about what's going on in Edmonton. One of the things that's very close to our customers, a lot of our customers live in the West End, and the Parkview Craft Sale is a really neat annual event. And so it's got they got homemade pies, they got a Ukrainian lunch they put on, they've got local handmade vendors there. It's free admission. It is in Parkview Community Hall. It is from 10 until 3 tomorrow, and that's sure to be an event that you can check out. Free sled rides, little gingerbread houses that you get to make, everything's free. So it's a great event to take in.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's unique, it's inexpensive, and it's impactful things that are sold there by local artisans. And it's amazing how many people go there every year to get Christmas presents. It's an amazing place to go and get reasonably costed, really, really neat things, and also have a really great experience with, like you say, everything's free. They have a lunch there that you can buy, which is the Ukrainian lunch, but they've got the sleigh ride and all that kind of stuff. And so many people, it's honestly probably like the highlight of their Christmas season, even though it's in November. Well worth going to and checking out. Yeah,
it started off about 10 years ago, and it was a brainchild of Val Bright, and she wanted to put on an event that was help to bring the community together to celebrate the beginning of the Christmas season. And since then, it's called the Bright Start to the Christmas season. And the reason it's kind of named for Val Bright is Val passed away about 5 years ago. And it's really great that there's so many people that have stepped up, mostly Louise Clark, that helps make this happen year after year, and it is a labor of love. A lot of effort goes into that, but it is a really awesome way to start off the Christmas season.
It is, and that's on 91st Avenue and 145th Street in the West End, so pretty centrally located. You don't have to live in Parkview to come. People come from far and wide. We know lots of people come from the North End to go there every year, so hopefully we'll see other people there.
Yeah, and one other little tidbit that they have there is they have fresh garden vegetables, which seems like how can they be fresh, but one of the local garden centers in the west and the northeast end, I guess that's where they are, and they provide these carrots that if you can get your hands on some, you will be forever grateful that you were tapped into that, because those things, you can buy bags of them, put them in your fridge, and they'll stay till March. Anyway, we are going to let you go and enjoy this snowy Friday afternoon, and we'll see you next week.
Have a great weekend, everybody.